Frack on. Welcome to the episode of Frack the Canon. I'm joined by the club with the most. How you doing, my fellow?
I'm doing super.
Yeah, I was gonna go for that, but that's low hanging fruit. I'm like, that's still low hanging fruit. I couldn't think of
Yeah,
anything
well,
more
guess
better.
what? I took it for you.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Not surprised. I'm kidding. All right, so Superman. What'd you think? This is our. Let me see. Because this is like our third or fourth theatrical live action Superman. I'm thinking Christopher Reeve, Brendan Routh. I'm not
But
counting.
for me, as far as experience, it is our fourth theatrical live action. But for me, experiencing it in the theater, it is my okay, third. It is my third experience, like having gone to the theater to
Yeah,
see. 'Cause,
true.
like Christopher Reeves, I was a wee lad and wasn't movie age in that one. For I think the I may have been alive for the Quest for Peace, if that was an '88
I think it was
thing.
80. If only
Yeah,
someone would tell us.
yeah, I may have been alive for that, but definitely not viewing a movie going age. Um, but I saw Superman Returns in theaters.
87.
I saw Man of Steel. You say '87?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Man of Steel in theaters and I saw this in theaters. And I remember saying to you and a couple other people, like, I think that this, um, and if you follow the show, like, I've been kind of like pushing back against this, not necessarily pushing back, just apprehensive about how I felt about what James Gunn was gonna do with Superman. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm here to say, like, I was pleasantly surprised. It didn't every fear that I had, like, of what he could to do to this movie, like, um, I didn't feel like it was too James Gunn. I felt like his sensibilities added to the movie in the best way possible. Um, and it felt like a genuine, like, this might be the most. And there's a movie we're going to talk about in a different video too. Like, there are a couple of the most, but this might be one of the most comic book movies I've ever seen. And we've seen a lot of comic book movies. And we've seen stuff like Sin City and Watchmen, which are like trying to be like one-to-one adaptations of things like that. And I don't mean that. Like, I mean this in a completely different way. Like, this might be the most comic book movie I've ever seen. Like, it's like the rules are like a comic book, like the way the characters behave, like the way things kind of just are in this world, like the way superheroes are just kind of just everywhere, the way people like don't care when a crazy supervillain thing is happening because they're used to it, like the way, like, it's not weird for Mr. Terrific to just say what's up to freaking Lois Lane, like, you know what I mean, like this might be the most comic book movie like I've ever seen, and Crypto is in it.
Crypto, you dirty bitch. um, I remember I told you when I saw it because I'm like the first time I saw it, my first viewing, I was very conflicted. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this movie because it wasn't that. It was just like at first it was the timeliness that seemed to be happening. Definitely agree with the comic book part. It was just like we went to film school to take a shot. Um, like so we know that it takes time to build and stuff like that and make and do fracking to build stuff. So like everything was just kind of happening, but it was all very comic booky. Like issue Action Comics #1, Superman does all the stuff. He fights. He fights. He punches Hitler in the picture thing to the wall. He fights for. He stops what's it called, a landowner, not the called landlord for overcharging. So like he does like it's awesome. Like it was cool. Like then Guy Gardner was like the most accurate Guy Gardner I've ever seen. Um, Hawk Girl, which is like deep cut, which is Isabella Merced. I'm like, dude, like you got Mitchell Terrific and Isabella Merced, which are like the deepest cuts. Um, and then Crypto too. I was like, I'm like, all right. Um, after the second viewing, I'm like, I do like this. I do enjoy it. I was kind of thrown off by the fact that because again, I think you've called me the CJ before, like maybe not in an accusing way, but like this is what I am. But I'm a purist to comic books,
Mm.
so I'm like, but Superman was the first superhero, like literally ever. Like because of Superman, we have everyone else. So I was kind of thrown off by like, well, the Justice Gang and is here first, and now it's Superman. I'm like, which was which is like nothing. But I'm like, the nerd in me was like, no. But I let it go in the second viewing. Um, dude, like Lex Luthor was the best Lex Luthor. I think for the longest time I said Michael Rosenbaum was like the best Lex Luthor we've ever gotten. Period.
So now you are giving him the crown. You're giving Holt the crown?
I am giving Hulk the crown. I am giving Beast the crown.
Interesting.
I am giving About a Boy that crown.
I mean, he's to his, I don't know whether this statement is to his credit or his discredit, but like he's in a property that respects the source material more than Michael Rosenbaum was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, that could lead to it. Like, he's playing Lex in a proper Lex role, you know what I mean? Which like I said, like, that could be to his credit, that could be to his discredit. You could say Michael Rosenbaum had less stuff to work with and he made it awesome still, like, kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Like, but, Holt is in a role that is like, this is proper Superman story, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, and it was like it was just so interesting. I remember thinking there was a couple of scenes that kind of like well, one of the scenes that made me feel a little cringy was when Lois Lane is interviewing Superman. I'm like, dude, like it was too real.
Whether or not Jarhanpur is an imperfect country does not give another nation the right to
Yes, but the
invade it.
Baravian government maintains they're freeing the Jarhanporians from a tyrannical regime.
Yes, but you know that's very silly.
I do?
The Baravian government of all people is saying this? Come on.
This is on the record, Superman.
Now, see, now you're being dishonest, Lois.
How am I being dishonest? What are you...
Where's the button?
Stop, it's...
You're
what?
being dishonest because you know as well as I do that the Baravian government is not
I
well-intentioned.
think that's almost certainly the case, but do I know that? No, I don't.
You know what I mean? Like it was too real. I'm like, dude, I don't like. I go, what you're doing. I don't like it. It's too real.
see, I liked it, and I think this is part of, I think that aspect of it is why I vibed with this Superman movie a lot more than like this Superman movie made me vibe with Superman in a way that like I don't ever really vibe with the character Superman. And I liked like that scene. It what was cool about that scene and its inclusion in this movie is that it was on brand for like the theme of the movie, right? And the theme of it was Superman like learning to be comfortable being a human, right? Like he's always trying to be a human. And it's like this movie was about him embracing the human side of him. You know what I mean? Like, because it was like, it started with, he's always trying to live up to this ideal of the Jor-El, you know what I mean? And like in the end, the last scene we see is him like chilling out and watching just home movies of his like adoptive parents, you know what I mean? Like which is so heartwarming. I love the way this movie ends. But freaking like I like that aspect of Superman because I'm used to DC characters being like unto these Greek gods. You know what I mean? Like being these disconnected characters. So to like see this Superman to be have in this issue, you know what I mean? And I like that. Like they showed us like, oh yeah, he's the super dude. All right, now here's him at home real quick. And like, no, he can't even deal with like this freaking like her badgering him with this freaking like, nah, I gotta get him out of here. Like, screw this. Like freaking like I like that. Like it's like, it ain't all perfect like with him. You know what I mean? Like he's just a dude who's like really trying to keep it together, and that was like really the main thing of this movie. Like he's really just a guy who never stops trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, and like they really kind of hit you over the head with that. But this movie really showed you it was like a show don't tell movie, and we always try to applaud movies for doing that, not like just hitting us over the head with like exposition to like. But like it really showed a lot of different things, and like I appreciated it for that, and I feel like that theme was one of them. Um, and all that led because I liked the scene where he argued with Lois.
So, it's a good scene. It was just to me like too real. Reminded me of home. Uh, no, but like there was that was he too like where he goes off to on Lex like that is what it means to be human. I'm also this. I'm also this. And like um the one scene where he goes with Ma and Pa Kent and they're still there, which again I'm like which threw me off too because I'm like well the Superman I know Pa Kent died and that's why he became blah blah blah. So I'm like but this is a different obviously different interpretation. So I'm like cool I'll live with it. Um I Yeah, I remember being very, 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 very conflicted like the first time. The second being okay, cool. I do like it. This is cool. I give it 3.5 fracks, I guess, out of 5. Like,
Would I give that? I would give it. Ah. I thought by the time we did this, like I would be more solid on it because here's the thing, I still don't know if I like this more than Man of Steel. Like I like both of them a lot for very different reasons. Um, and I know that like I know Man of Steel is divisive. I'm in the camp of I love that movie. Um, and it was like my favorite Superman movie for a while. Like this. I still don't know if I like it more than that one, and it's for very different reasons. Like it's because like this movie has such a vibe, and like I like the vibe that it has. You know what I mean? It like feels kind of hopeful, and like the Superman in this movie like is a Superman that I feel like I can get behind. And I don't mean the actor, I just mean like just the character. You know what I mean? Like just what he is and what he stands for. And I like how they like really like I love it when they like can kind of tie one moment to a character like to like and sum up exactly what this character is. You know what I mean? Like Captain America does it. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to. It's the scene when he's getting drunk with the scientist guy. He doesn't want to kill anybody. He just wants to. He doesn't like bullies or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he's a good man. He's not a something. He's a good man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's like who Captain America is. And like for me, like in this movie, like that scene where he's talking about the dog, or I don't even like the dog. I don't like that thing, but I gotta go get it. Like because it's out there and it's scary. Like that just sums up who Superman is. Like that defines the character for this universe. And like having a moment in there like that, like I saw that and I was like, okay, yep, this like he knows what he's doing. Like he did it. Like this is Superman. Like this is Superman. That is his defining moment. Like this is why he does what he does. It doesn't matter. He needs help. Like screw that dog. It's my freaking cousin's dog, and she's always drunk. Like you know what I mean? Like
dude, that scene where she says, "Later, bitch."
Come on. Thanks for watching him, bitch.
Bro, just the fact that, like, as much as I like to dog on Superman, the fact that in his movie, like, Supergirl calls him a bitch, bro. Like, the fact that that exists in this movie is, I'm pleased to no end. You were talking about Lex Luthor earlier. What a great freaking Lex Luthor this is. I've
Yes.
always wanted just a all I've ever wanted is just a serious Lex. Like that's all I've ever wanted. Like he didn't have to be, you know what I mean, do whatever his scheme is. Like just can we take him seriously? Like that's all. Like, and I felt like every live action Lex is such a freaking goofy cartoon. Like, and I don't know why they want to keep doing that. You know?
Yeah, it's almost very like 1930 and 20, like, I'll get you and your little dog too, you know, like twisting their mustache. No, this was the most human one I've seen. That's why I was like, I like Michael Rosenbaum's interpretation up until then, and like Kevin Spacey, I'm like, you're just doing Gene Hackman. Jesse Eisenberg. I'm like, dude, like, what is this? Like, it reminds
Right,
me of
what
like,
was that?
I was like, what is this, dude? Like, I don't understand. Like, are you doing Mark Zuckerberg? Like, what are you supposed to be doing? Because there was that scene with the pee. And I'm like, dude, what? But yeah, this was
He
that
fed
one.
a guy a piece of candy in that movie.
I don't remember, dude. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't. I'm like, what? Like, what? Yeah, what is this? But he, dude, like he was the most human. Like he was like the most petty. I'm like, yes, dude, this is Lex Luthor, like the next girlfriend or whatever. And then all these, I'm like, I remember now because I remember we were talking about. So, your biggest fear was that it would be James Gunn unleashed, and I felt it wasn't. It was James Gunn like tethered, like, all right, I'm gonna hold back on the drugs. I'm hold back on the incredulousness. He like, here it is. Here slowly, like little sprinkles of it, but enough to be like, okay, this is fine. Like this is, I can take this. Not like,
That's okay. This is right. No, exactly. Like that. Like same on so many levels, right? But like, sorry. I'll let you finish, and
no,
then.
no, no. That was it.
Well, all I was gonna say is like same, except like I actually go beyond that and say like I think it was perfectly sprinkled in,
Mhm.
like because I think where the James Gunness came in was really just in world building moments or just in background moments where like just some character says some off thing like and like it just makes the world feel realer like and more lived in and like I feel like that like that's what I mean by it was just perfectly sprinkled like this is his definitely his style of way he writes and has these things in there but like in this instance it just made for like a more real feeling world, or sorry, a more lived in feeling world, I should
Yeah,
say, not real, but more lived in feeling. Like there's just characters like everywhere. Like this universe is living and breathing, like with events and things happening and characters in the background just talking about random crap, like or whatever, you know what I mean? Or Jimmy Olsen. That's the only weird choice for me. Like Jimmy Olsen, ladies man. Okay, I guess. Like.
yeah. Where did that come from? I was like,
like, like I have no, I guess, specific problems with it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, same. I'm like, I guess he can be a ladies' man. Like I'm not. But what was her name? Because she's always played like she was in the Christopher Eve ones. She was in the Brendan Routh one. She wasn't in the other one. But like she's always like Luthor's girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, what are you
oh,
doing? Yeah.
Tessmacher. Yeah.
I was like, mutant toes. I'm like, what? What is that?
Which I thought was interesting that they had, like, because there was an Otis character too.
Yeah, he was in
So
the
they had both of his characters from the original movies, like, in this movie. I thought that was interesting.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, cause yeah, you're right. And I missed it the first time. So I'm like, oh, it is like, come here, Mr. Luthor.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I was just like, that's what a weird. I was like, are they comic canon? Like, I didn't
I don't know.
like.
Is it Eve Calmacan? I don't think she is. I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
not.
didn't think. I thought they were movie creations. You know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, is this? I guess this is a nod to the old movie.
I think so. I think so. I don't know, but I was like, okay.
All right, tell me your thoughts on the score.
The score. I was like, if I was kind of 50, I mean, it's all right because like it was just a modern version of John Williams' score. It was like I kind of wish, like, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of the Snyderverse, but at least it was original. At least it was. I'm like, it's not for me, but it's original. With this one, I'm
I
like,
love that score.
I know, yeah, and we've talked about this
Mhm.
at great lengths. But I was like, I did not. I'm like, I kind of like, well, you guys are kind of punking out. You guys are kind of copying out. I'm like, all right, it's the old score, but modernized or a little bit like more like rock or whatever. I'm like, nah, either go all the way or make up your own new score.
Well, you know what it is, but and that's the difference, and that's why it's a problem. That's why I see it. That's why I can see it as a problem.
Right.
Is it's Daredevil Born Again, right?
Yeah.
Where that music is literally like it's like the off notes, right? Like of the original one.
Hmm.
Like it kind of sounds like it, but it is like it's a different song.
It's off by just a few.
Yeah, like it's a different song, so it gives you the vibe of the old one, and like, but the difference between Daredevil and Born Again is it's meant to continue. You know what I mean? At least
Right.
on some level, this is meant to be the same thing that we were watching, like, but it's different. Like, this score is different, right? Like, it is a unique score to John Williams' score. Um, However, it's not a can, but that the thing, what makes the thing, I don't. You know how I feel about them just straight up stealing like scores in like another movie. Like I feel like it's cheating. In this one, I respect that it's different, right? Like it is like I get how similar it is. You know what I mean? I'm not wiping that under the rug. You know what I mean? Like I get how similar it is. I do respect it because it is different. But that just the ramifications of it mean that this now is Superman music.
Yeah.
Like because they have done this, like, and this is a franchise that is of its own, and it is also like something that came out like 20, 30 years more years ago, right? Like it like this now is Superman music, right? Like the next version of Superman we get is gonna have some kind of variation of this tune, right? Like because like now it's a thing. Like they made it a thing now. Like this is Superman music. Like it's synonymous with him now.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I just thought I thought of like I mean I didn't I you know me I prefer like I'm like I said that's my Superman theme score. So I'm like all right cool like it's I was making it hard on myself for some reason. I'm like all right I do like it but I don't like it like either so I'm like I was kind of okay it's fine it's Superman but I kind of wish you would have done something different but I'm okay with this too. Like I don't know it kind of just feels a little bit plagiarizing. I'm like come on guys you know um
Yeah. And I don't fully I can't even fully disagree with you because like you already know how I feel on the matter
yeah.
about that. But like this I kind in this specific instance, I do give this movie like more of a pass.
I mean it's weird
But
because
it is like why though?
yeah
Why is it so similar?
like because Returns was a continuation of the Christopher Reeve
Right.
with the dog. I'm like, okay, that's fine, that makes sense, cool. But this one, I'm like, this is a whole new thing. I'm like, so why is it kind of like because everything? Even let's talk about the controversial thing about him being sent to like procreate, keep the earth. Like, how do you feel about that?
Um, I don't know that I've ever seen that specific type of thing, but I feel like sometimes they do play with the origin with like the crypto, like maybe it's not all like on the up and up. Like I do like feel like I mean, like there is this idea of like a perspective thing, right? Like of like this is a dude who is speaking from a doomed planet perspective, right? Like he's about to die and like these are the last things he's saying to his son like hey look just fuck whatever like you know what I mean like we gotta freaking save our race you know what I mean kind of a thing um there's that level but like also like he's telling a freaking infant this I guess too but so like I didn't necessarily have a problem with it. I think it's an interesting wrinkle. Like I think it's always cool when like movies like when they're the third or fourth version of this thing that we've already seen. And most of those things have been popular. You know what I mean? It's like how do we find a way how do we find our ways to like our different angles on it and like the differences that this movie like brought to it like I was intrigued with and thought were interesting. And this is one of them, right? Like I do think that there's even more that will probably be unlocked from the message.
Mhm.
I don't think they're done with that as a plot point, to be honest. Like the way they kind of unlocked it and like was exactly what they needed. Like to me, like just smells of Brainiac a little bit. Like it like maybe the message was even because first of all he only had a little tiny piece of that message, and like she goes in there and she like hacks the computer and she's like, hey, there's a little more of this message, and like opens it up and they get like the bad part of the message, you know what I mean? And it's like just the way it was like encrypted, but then like they just got just enough more like to be damning. It was exactly what they were looking for. You know what I mean? Like it was a little easy, and like maybe that was just like bad writing. You know what I mean? But like maybe like that is a plan, and maybe like there's something else going on there, and like obviously we know like stuff with technology and Krypton, like Brainiac. You know what I mean? Like
That was the thing you said that too. The a little too easy. I felt that a lot in this movie too. Like with Mephisto, I'm like, Metamorpho. I'm like,
mm,
all right, dude, what a coincidence that he has them so that he can like freaking turn them in, do the kryptonite radiation, and what a coincidence that he can do the sun thing again. I'm like, all of like what a lot of happy coincidences. I'm like, I get it. Again, take a shot with film school. I'm like, dude, like really, what a coincidence that you have this guy here for this. I'm like, because why is Metamorpho in there? I'm like, okay, he's in for that. Like for a story reason, not for a character reason. So I'm like, all right, cool. Um, favorite. All right, anything else on that before we talk about our favorite side characters?
speaking of Metamorpho, no, no, I did like I like Metamorpho's like obviously it was a late entry into the movie and we had to like hurry up and get
Yeah,
endeared to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but like he had like some, I like the little back and forth with him and Guy Gardner at the end there. Um um I don't know, I liked a lot of them. I guess Mr. Terrific was like kind of the standout. Um I do like Uh, I always like Nathan Fillion in whatever he's in, you know what I mean? Like, I like the side characters. I would like to see more of them in different stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I would watch a freaking Justice Gang, whatever they came out with, you know what I mean? Like, for of that team that we got introduced to in this movie, like, I would watch this team do more stuff, like, most definitely. Um, what about some of you?
so like I like I've never really cared for any of the characters like again in the comic books, but I mean Nathan Fillion is always like, all right, what are you gonna do? He killed the other guy. I'm like, this is Guy Gardner to a T. Like I love the I love Isabella Merced as Hot Girl. Like more of her, please. Um and then Mr. Terrific when he says, I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Hey, hey, the counterclose rift is in here. I can help. I don't need your help. I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
It was so I'm like, oh my god, dude. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he was a show stealer, dude.
He
Like,
really
just like
did.
he was a show stealer, bro.
He really did, bro. I was like, all right. Um,
Yeah, like I love the middle fingers, flipping the tanks over, right?
oh yeah, that's right.
I was like maybe one or two too many middle fingers, but like, but still keep the scene in. Um,
That was
yeah,
funny. I did like that. Oh, that scene too, dude, where they're like, the kid's like Superman, and then the Justice League shows up. I'm like, dude, that really got to me too. I was like, oh my god, dude, like, he's the thing, like he just what's his name? James Gunn is good at playing with the emotions. Like he is so good at playing, and that's I do that is so hard to do. But I'm like it was just like dude, like at least with the Guardians of the Galaxy. With this one, I'm like, dude, okay, dude, this one did get to me. Like that one scene, I'm like, oh my god, okay, okay. And then what else? I think that's it on my end.
yeah, I enjoyed the side characters. It was an interesting movie in that, like, it's kind of obviously it's a not origin story, but yes, it's an origin story, right? Like, it's like kind of an origin of this universe in a way, like, and because it's the first one, like it's like, and it's part Iron Man, part Age of Ultron, right? Like because
Yeah,
of all the world building it's trying to do. Like, and yes, part freaking Dawn of Justice, right? Like, but I think it just does it better than all of not the Iron Man part, but I think like the world building slash being a like a first kind of like foray into something. I think it does it like the best you can kind of do something like that. You know what I mean? Something that is like, hey, this is a character's first movie, but this is also a universe's first movie, and we're like opening a universe up. Like, you know what I mean? Like this actually, like I think it did it in a really good way. You know what I mean? Like where it like where it introduced you to characters by not introducing you to them. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like where it's like these characters exist. That's all you need to know. Like, you know what I mean? You can kind of figure out what they do while we're watching the movie. But like, yeah, these characters exist. They're superheroes that exist. Like, all right, watch this movie, you know?
Um, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. I got nothing else. Final comments, final thoughts, final anything.
Yeah, final thought. We
Actually,
already rated this, right?
no, I think we give it Frax.
Uh we haven't given it Frax. I love this new rating system, by the way.
I did too.
Freaking how many Frax do I give about this movie?
I'm gonna give it three at Frax out of five.
Cause see, I think I just need to decide what I think the fracks mean. Fracks stand for because like three is over half, right? So that like it's like it's at least okay. Like I think this is better than okay. I think this movie is good. Like I think this is a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but I think it's a good movie. Um and as much as I like Man of Steel, I don't necessarily think it's a good movie. Like, but like this, I think is a good movie. So I would have based on that alone, I'd have to at least give it 3 and a 5, but I might give it a 4 because I think it's a good movie. Yeah, I'll give it a 4
Okay.
for good.
Because I remember I get three because I remember being conflicted. I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, blah blah blah. But now it's like I'm like, it is a good movie. I just still have a lot of like, what bugs me the most is like, what a coincidence. What if like the writer me kicked in? I'm like, all right, cool. What a coincidence is happening. This is happening. But again, like the performances were amazing. That one scene, like with like I said, like the scene with Lois Lane and Clark Kent in the living room of the kitchen, like that was a great scene. Cringy to me, it was just cringy because it was too real. Like this is too real for me. Like this is like it reminded me of home. So I'm like, all right, but I'm still gonna like I'm still not fully convinced. It's I feel like I mean obviously there's no such thing as a perfect film, but I'm like I don't think this is close to it either. Too like it's good. It's fun. A lot of fun for the family, but I'm not ready to give it like 4 stars yet. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you same fracking time, same fracking channel. Frack off.